Today's Gospel for the last Sunday of Advent finds us in the company of Mary and her cousin Elizabeth. Mary, having just heard the news from the angel Gabriel that she is to bear a child, finds the need for womanly companionship and hastens to the home of her cousin Elizabeth, who is also with child. My favorite artistic rendering of this meeting of the two women is Brother Mickey McGrath's interpretation of the story. Brother McGrath paints the meeting in vibrant colors and swirling motion. In his depiction of the two women, the joy of their encounter is palpable. They seem to be almost dancing around one another in a swirl of joy, looking deeply into one another's eyes. I've always thought if the artist were true to the scripture, the words on the painting would be Elizabeth's words, "Blessed are you among women." Or perhaps Mary's response, "My soul magnifies the Lord." Instead, there's the phrase, "This is the place of our delight and rest." Why that phrase? No doubt the artist was not calling attention to the small town in the Judean hills where Elizabeth lived. I'd like to think that what these two women knew in their hearts, saw in one another's eyes, is the place of delight and rest. Mary, the Christ-bearer, and Elizabeth, the one whose son first recognized the Messiah, are already experiencing the promise made by the prophets ages before. Cherishing the divine within each other, recognizing the presence of the Messiah, no wonder they're dancing. Delight and rest, comfort and joy. Many years ago, I had the privilege of working at my sister's place. It was the early 80s, and MSP, as we called it then, was on Mulberry Street in Baltimore, and was a daytime refuge for women needing shelter. Many because of the movement in vogue at the time to deinstitutionalize mental hospitals. The small staff spent our days with the women. We offered a cup of tea, a warm shower, clean clothes, a comfy chair to curl up in for a nap, help with finding safe shelter for the night, and mostly a listening ear. We listened to Mary, who, when we closed at 4 p.m., took a bus to the county where she felt safer spending the night on the street. To Ethel, who dressed in men's clothing that would, she felt, protect her from assault when she slept in the parking garage across the street. And to Anna, who put bits of tissue in our electrical outlets to keep at bay the voices that she heard coming from them. We offered a place for a few hours of delight and rest, comfort and joy. And this very message of cherishing the divine within all is what Catholic Charities still offers today at my sister's place and all of the many organizations it sponsors. So I would suggest that today's gospel reading opens us up, calls us this final week of Advent to be a place of delight and rest, comfort and joy to those who are in need of such gifts in these times. I can imagine we don't have to look far to find a weary caregiver, a stressed teacher or child care provider, a harried store clerk, a struggling young person, or a neighbor experiencing the depths of loneliness. Perhaps our own hearts need some comfort and joy these days. So let's invite Mary and Elizabeth in these last days of Advent. They who were blessed among women, to lead us to the place where God dwells, the God whose presence we cherish today, even as we await his coming. Have a blessed final week of Advent and a wonderful, joy-filled Christmas.